My name is Olivia Parker. 3 months before my wedding, my younger sister stole everything. My venue, my dress, my fiancé, and somehow convinced my entire family that I was the problem. I lost my wedding. I lost my relationship. I lost my family. But on the day she walked down the aisle to marry the man she stole from me, I stood up in front of 300 guests and revealed a secret she had spent 7 years hiding. The wedding ended before the vows did. And nobody in that room ever looked at my sister the same way again. Growing up, my sister Ava always wanted what belonged to someone else. If I got a new toy, she wanted it. If I made a friend, she became their best friend. If I achieved something, she found a way to make it about her. My parents thought it was cute. I thought it was exhausting. But nothing prepared me for what happened when I got engaged. My fiancé, Ethan, proposed during a weekend trip to Napa Valley. It was perfect. For the first time in years, my life felt stable. I was 32, successful, happy, and planning the wedding I'd dreamed about since I was a little girl. Ava seemed supportive. First, she volunteered to help with everything: dress shopping, venue visits, guest planning. She acted like the perfect sister. Now I know she was studying my life, not supporting it. The first warning sign came 6 months later. I walked into a restaurant unexpectedly and saw Ethan sitting with Ava, alone. When they noticed me, both looked nervous. They immediately claimed they were discussing wedding surprises. I wanted to believe them, so I did, because trusting someone is easier than accepting betrayal. Over the next few weeks, things felt strange. Ethan became distant. Ava became overly involved in every wedding decision. Whenever I questioned anything, they made me feel paranoid. Eventually I stopped asking questions. Big mistake. 3 months before the wedding, everything exploded. Came home early from work. Ethan's car was in the driveway. So was Ava's. I walked inside and found them together. In my house. In my living room. My entire world collapsed in seconds. I remember screaming, crying, shaking. Neither of them even looked guilty. Ava actually smiled. Then she said something I'll never forget. You were never right for him. The betrayal didn't end there. Within days, my parents took Ava's side. Apparently, Ethan had convinced everyone we'd been unhappy for years. Ava claimed they had fallen in love naturally. My mother called it fate. My father called it complicated. Called it disgusting. Nobody cared. Then came the final insult. Ava announced she and Ethan would be getting married, using my wedding venue, on my wedding date, with most of my guest list. Felt physically sick. The entire family supported it. Even relatives who knew the truth attended. I stopped answering calls. Stopped attending gatherings. Stopped trying to defend myself. Because I realized something important. People who want to believe a lie will always find a reason to ignore the truth. For months I disappeared. Everyone assumed I was broken. And honestly, first I was. But eventually sadness became anger. Then anger became curiosity. Something about Ava's confidence bothered me. She acted like someone who knew she could never be exposed. That made me wonder what she was hiding. So I started digging. And what I found changed everything. 7 years earlier, Ava worked for a nonprofit organization. She often bragged about her leadership role, her charity work, her perfect reputation. But while researching old records, I discovered lawsuits, missing funds, financial investigations, names connected to Ava. First I thought it was a mistake. Then I found emails, bank transfers, internal reports. Ava had secretly embezzled nearly $200,000. The case was buried through private settlements. Most people never learn the truth, including our family, including Ethan. And that's when I formed a plan. Wedding day arrived. The same venue, the same flowers, the same decorations I had originally chosen. Everything hurt. But I wasn't there to cry. I was there to finish something. The ceremony started. Ava looked triumphant. Ethan looked proud. My parents looked relieved. Then the officiant asked if anyone objected. I stood up. 300 guests turned toward me. The room went silent. Ava's face went white. 'Cause she knew. I walked to the front carrying a folder. Inside were copies of every document, every financial record, every settlement, every investigation, every lie. Then I handed one copy to Ethan, one to my parents, and several to members of the wedding party. People started reading. Whispers spread. Confusion became shock. Shock became outrage. Ava tried grabbing the papers. Too late. Everyone had already seen them. Then Ethan asked the question that destroyed everything. Is this real? Ava couldn't answer. 'Cause it was. The next 10 minutes felt unreal. Guests left their seats. Family members started arguing. The officiant walked away. My father looked like he might faint. My mother burst into tears. And Ethan. He removed his wedding ring before the ceremony was even finished. Then he walked out. Without saying another word. Ava screamed after him. He never turned around. The wedding ended in complete chaos. Within weeks, Ava became the center of a public investigation. Old accusations resurfaced. Former co-workers came forward. The truth finally caught up with her. As for Ethan, he tried apologizing. Repeatedly. But some betrayals don't deserve second chances. I never took him back. Instead, I focused on rebuilding my life. A year later, I met someone new. Someone honest. Someone loyal. Someone who never made me question my worth. And that's when I learned the most important lesson of my life. Sometimes losing the wrong people is the fastest way to find the right ones. If your own family ever chose someone else's happiness over your pain, comment "betrayed" below. And remember, people can steal your plans. They can steal your opportunities. They can even steal people you love. But they can never steal the future you're willing to build for yourself.